Hokkaido is Japan's northernmost island that's far more rural with mountainous terrain and dramatic coastlines. The Japan Rail can reach the island through an underwater tunnel and ultimately end at the city of Hakodate for regional rail transfers. This was a pretty long journey for me as I navigated the train system and looked out upon the diverse landscape of Hokkaido. The trains do tend to sway more here than, say, the rest of Japan, but I got used to it pretty quick and still enjoyed the whole train riding experience. My first stop in Hokkaido was Noboribetsu, a city renowned for its geothermal hot springs. Right off the train stop, there's a small kiosk to buy a bus ticket which takes you directly north to the center of town where the majority of onsens are. I was actually surprised at how developed this small city was. There's quite a bit of luxury hotels here, with several steam vent openings scattered about. The big spectacle here, just beyond the hotels, is the ominous named Hell Valley. It's basically a volcanic landscape featuring bubbling hot springs, steaming vents, along with rocky terrain stained with vibrant hues of orange and white. It got its name from its resemblance to Buddhist depictions of hell, with sulfuric scents and volcanic activity. It was rather short-lived, so I decided to explore the area further, hitting up several diverging trails going through the forest. There's a massive caldera lake that's nearby, which actually reminded me of Crater Lake back home in the States. On the opposite end is an area for natural pools and hot springs, which you obviously shouldn't go into. But as I walked along the perimeter, there's actually an area where the water runs along a causeway through several forested areas towards a makeshift platform where people can take off their shoes and soak their feet. I expected the water to be scalding hot, but it's actually very manageable and a great way to soothe after a long hike. After Noboribetsu, I stocked up on some snacks. Recommend trying this Japanese chocolate called Black Thunder. It's truly life-changing. As well as trying a sushi called uni, which is basically sea urchin and has a very distinctive taste and texture. I then boarded my train to continue my journey. My first pit stop was in Chitose, and here is where I got an up-close look at the salmon migration that happens every autumn on the river. It's jaw-dropping to see how much salmon is in these waters, and the staggering amount of caviar production, sashimi, and other seafood delicacies is impressive. For a seafood lover like myself, this was basically a gold mine for all things fish. I carried on further northwest, bypassing the main city of Sapporo till later, and came upon a small port town of Otaru. It's growing as a popular day trip destination as of late, and the whole town can be explored pretty easily. My stay was at the Otaru taproom, which doubles as a hostel and bar. It's a nice, relaxing place to stay, and you get a free beer as a thank you on top of it. One of the most beautiful sights in Otaru is its merchant warehouse district along a canal. It's a charming little spot with nicely preserved buildings that have been converted to cafes and restaurants. It's well worth it to walk and explore along the banks of the canal. I also noticed how much overgrowth Otaru has. From street lamps to buildings, it seems to be just about everywhere. It really gives the city character and a sense of identity. I only had about a day to explore the majority of Otaru, and the more I walked through some of its old alleys and classic izakayas, the more the city began to grow on me with its historical appeal. It's not really flashy and doesn't need to be. I liked how curated everything here is, with a lot of tiny shops, seafood stalls, and general stores. And you just can't beat those overgrown walls around town. The next day, I made my way back to explore the bustling city of Sapporo. Sapporo is the largest city in Hokkaido and the 5th largest city in Japan overall by population. Its urban layout was designed with American influence, featuring a grid system of wide, tree-lined boulevards and making it mostly easy to navigate. It's got a nickname as the City of Entertainment, with a good blend of urban sophistication and entertainment districts. Seafood, once again, reigns supreme. You really can't go wrong with any establishment here, and the Japanese standards for serving clean, delicious cuisine really shines here as well. There's a ton of bars all throughout the city, with the majority of them sharing one large building. I mainly sought out places with live music, and can't say I was disappointed. I arrived in Sapporo just before Halloween, and was stoked to see the local people embracing this popular holiday in the streets. There were the classic Nintendo characters out and about, along with a few cast of characters from Japanese lore that I unfortunately didn't get a chance to film. I got to know the city pretty well right from the start, and can only imagine how it looks for its winter festivals. Since it was still fall in the city, I again took the opportunity to wander the main park and enjoy the changing of the color guard. It was everything I wanted and more, especially since this was the first fall colors I experienced in 3 years. Sapporo also hosted the 1972 Winter Olympics, and the iconic rings can be found near the main park as well. I'd love to come back to the city again, hopefully in the wintertime, to really experience the local life, sample more traditional seafood dishes, and of course, bring my gear to ski the iconic powder just beyond the city limits. So this wraps up some of my time spent on the island of Hokkaido. In my next video, I take a plane to travel to beautiful Okinawa. It's an archipelago filled with gorgeous outlying islands, interesting cuisine, surfing culture, and abundant marine life. I'll close out with a brief stop in Enoshima and Kamakura Peninsula. As always, if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more travels as I close out Japan. See you next time.